Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. I had to clear my throat a little bit for whatever reason. It's super hot outside when it's like sunny during the daytime and whatnot, so it's been a little weird. My throat's been acting up some. Anyway, today I have a Goosebumps DVD and book haul for you. Not really a whole lot of stuff, a few DVDs, couple of books, nothing too big. But I thought I'd share it with you. I thought it'd be something kind of to give you something to weigh off until I finally finish the Curse of the Mummy, which is the Goosebumps Classic Series book. Really enjoying it so far. I wouldn't say love, I definitely wouldn't even come close to saying hate or anything like that, but working my way through it over time. I'm hoping to have that review up soon. I'm sorry it's taking so long with this marathon I've got going on, where I'm trying to read the Mummy books consecutively all the way through as a series. It's just kind of been a weird couple of weeks, a lot of things going on. Some other stuff I'm trying to do on the side with other channels of mine, working 40 hours a week still. A lot of stuff going on. We also had the announcement today at work that we're also going to be having, apparently, this Friday off, so I'm hoping that I can get maybe two of these books reviewed this week. The one I'm almost done with, which is the first Mummy book, maybe the second one as well. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'm going to try my best to get that done, because I really want to talk some more about some Mummy stuff here on the channel, and some Goosebumps stuff in general for you guys. We've had so many new people coming to the channel in the last couple of weeks, like maybe 40 past 500, like I think we're at 540 tonight as I looked at YouTube when I got off work. So to everybody here who's new, thank you so much for joining us. I'm having a blast talking to you guys and commenting back and forth with all of you. And yeah, here's a little cool book/DVD haul video for you to have something to, you know, take your interest until I get my next video out. But anyway, the first thing I got was about last week, I think, sometime. I got basically a DVD copy, one of the old style DVD copies of like Haunted Mass 2 and Night of the Living Dummy 3, some of the first releases of DVDs in the US for Goosebumps the TV show. I finally got Shocker on Shock Street. I'm going to start collecting these DVDs, I think. I don't know how many I'll get at a certain time. These are not difficult to find at all. I think the most rare out of all the DVDs is one I already own, which is Haunted Mask 2. But most of these and the VHSs are very easy to get your hands on, so that's very nice. It's easy to get, you know, a lot of these at one time for a decent deal. But anyway, that's pretty much Shocker on Shock Street. It also happens to have... my voice changed, excuse me. It also happens to have the episode called Click, which is a short story from the Tales to Give You Goosebumps book series. I think it was the first or third book, somewhere in one of those. It was a good story, and it was a good episode from what I remember. But yeah, Shocker on Shock Street's a two-parter, I believe. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was that episode and a Click episode, which were both good. I liked both. Shocker on Shock Street's book is amazing. The episode is kind of okay. It was good for the most part, I guess, but I did a review in case you want to check out either of the reviews for either of those episodes, Shocker on Shock Street or Click, so you have that. Anyway, the next one I got is one of the newer Goosebumps, not newer, but kind of in the last few recent years, a DVD release of Goosebumps Return of the Mummy. This is a little DVD set with some Mummy stuff in here. One of my favorite, well, episodes of the old show is on this as well. Not Return of the Mummy. Certainly not Return of the Mummy from what I remember seeing it like 6 or 7 years ago for the first time and only time in my life. But Don't Wake Mummy is in this. It's another episode that is based on a short story from the Tales to Give You Goosebumps books, which was amazing. Don't Wake Mummy, the short story and the book, or the episode, TV, whatever, were fantastic. I loved both. This was one of the scariest episodes from the show, I think. One of the scariest stories from that actual book series, so loved it. Really loved Don't Wake Mummy. Return of the Mummy was bad from what I remember, but it also has You Can't Scare Me on here, which the episode is a horrendous, goofy mess based and adapted from the book that I love from the old classic series. The You Can't Scare Me book was amazing, in my opinion. I think a lot of people give it a bad rap for no reason. It's one of those books like Ghost Camp that just has this urban legend feel to it I always talk about here on my channel. It's one of my favorite things about it. The You Can't Scare Me episode is on here. I don't really recommend it, but it's more comedy, humoristic Goosebumps, if you like that kind of thing. But yeah, I have that as part of my collection now. And I will review that episode of The Mummy, when Return of the Mummy, when I get around to reading that book, which is the second book after the book I'm reading currently at the moment. The next one is kind of a little bit of the copycat of what I just showed you. And it's one of the 3-pack thrillers. From what I understand, the 2-packs and 3-packs of DVDs are the newest Goosebumps stuff that have come out from the old TV show. We still, in America, do not have a box set release with all the episodes in one big complete series. We don't have one of those, and it pisses me off to no end. Because there's no reason we don't have that or Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 90s. Those two shows are extremely popular with their audiences. There's no reason we don't have either of those on DVD. But we have individual episodes of this and Spider-Man show, as a matter of fact, too. It seems to me like you can get all the Goosebumps episodes if you buy all the DVDs. All of them. That's kind of terrible. It's kind of ridiculous to pay a huge amount of money for 4 seasons, I think it was, of that TV show. It's ridiculous amounts of money, but again, as a Goosebumps fan and collector, I just kind of buy the DVDs and the books. That's really all I pick up, even though I have a Slappy dummy back there I've had all my life. Anyway, this is a 3-pack thriller, as it's called. It's One Day at Horrorland, Return of the Mummy, and Shocker on Shock Streets DVDs in here. The thing is, each of these DVDs are not just for those 3 episodes. They have individual other things on here. For example, One Day at Horrorland also has Welcome to Camp Nightmares 2-parter, which I think I own the DVD that has One Day at Horrorland, and on that DVD set it also has Welcome to Camp Nightmare on it. Both of those are good. Both of those are really good, actually. I like them. I think the books are better for both, but they're both good. I like the episodes. The next one's Return of the Mummy, which I just showed you. It's the same exact episodes. Don't Wake Mummy, Return of the Mummy, and You Can't Scare Me are all listed on that DVD. And here, the DVD is actually the same exact thing. It has the same art on the actual DVD. There's One Day at Horrorland. There's those two. And yeah, Shocker on Shock Street is also in here, which also has Click. Same thing that was on that DVD I just showed you. So you've got all that in here. Again, I'm just buying the individual different versions of the DVDs. I don't know why I want to do that. I just kind of do, because it's Goosebumps. I love Goosebumps. And you never know with the DVDs. They might be more difficult to find one day, and they might be more expensive one day. I know Haunted Mask 2 was running for like 80 bucks on Amazon recently for a new copy. So, yeah, buy them while you can, I think, is the best advice I can possibly give you, especially for the books, too. Now we move on to the books. There was a book I read recently that I loved. It was part of a marathon I did before this Mummy marathon I'm doing, and I loved this first book so much. I bought a original library edition hardcover. Well, 2 of them, really, I think. Was there 2 of them? I think I accidentally bought 2 of them. Of Revenge of the Living Dummy, or excuse me, that's not what it was. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, the old classic series Goosebumps book. I have the old cover art on those copies in hardcover. Now I have the new cover art in a hardcover library-bound edition. This was actually on sale when I bought it. I got it for $8. It's usually like $18 or $19 for a hardcover Goosebumps book as a library edition because they're more sturdy, they hold up a longer time, supposedly. I don't know if it's entirely true, but usually library books do hold up for a while because they're meant for multiple readings, multiple consecutive readings, not just one reading that sits on the shelf for 10 years. It's not like that. So this is a good hardcover. And again, hardcover, not paperback like you typically get at Barnes & Noble. I like these hardcovers when I can find them for books that I love, and Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes is one of my new favorites from the series. I've never read this one until I became an adult recently. Not that I became an adult recently, but, you know, I read the book recently and I really loved it. I thought it was a very good, fun read, and I had a blast. It was a really cool time. If you like slappy books, you'll like this, I think. A lot of cool, creepy things to be had, adventure-wise, in this book. Perfect condition, you know? No skid marks or anything like that, I can tell. A little bit of a problem with the spine right there, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like a little bit of a bend where the mailman forced it into the apartment complex mailbox. They just don't care. If you happen to be a mailman, you happen to be watching this video, please take good care of people's packages. People buy things that are worth more than what they actually look like from the package that's smaller. A small package in the mail does not mean that it's not worth more money. You know what I mean? It's kind of a shame. Anyway, the last thing I have to show you here is a special edition Give Yourself Goosebumps book. I read it probably 2 months ago, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I forgot to mention in my review that it was a Halloween book. It's one of my favorite Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I think it's absolutely terrifying. One of the scariest Goosebumps books out there, in my opinion. It's a choose-your-own-adventure book, if you don't know what Give Yourself Goosebumps books are, where you basically read a book, and you get to the next page, and at the bottom you get a couple of choices, and you'll go to a different page within the book, depending on which choice you want to make in the story. And this one is Special Edition number 4, One Night in Pain House. I love this so much, and this apparently just all of a sudden has become hard to find. I found this popping up on eBay for like $25. I think I beat the guy down to about $20. Now, as you know, I already owned a copy of this. I'm not one of those people that pile up 5 or 6 copies of the same book, especially the rare books. I'm not one of those kinds of people. If it's a book that I really love, I mean genuinely love, I will buy an extra copy of it just to have it for a beach trip or just to have it for the next time around a holiday comes around, like Halloween, for in case with this one because it's a Halloween book. Just like that, to have something that I don't mind, that if something happens to it, then that's fine. I don't have to panic too much. You know, I know 20 bucks sounds like a little bit for a kid's book, but, you know, this is a relatively decent price because this is running for a lot more money now, and it'd be a shame for anything to happen to it. I'm glad that this one's a little bit more in beat-up condition. It makes me feel even worse, or not so bad about in case anything would happen to this. But the other copy that was in like perfect condition, I'd be very sad if something happened to that one. But I don't want to damage my books that are hard to find, you know what I mean? Because at some point, if those would get damaged in the future, it'd be harder to replace those. Whereas you have a secondary copy you can read actively. Because I plan on reading this and Ghost Camp and Shocker on Shock Street. You Can't Scare Me a lot more than just one time, because they're some of my favorite books from the whole series of Goosebumps, entirely, as a whole book series, all the years they've been around. One Night in Pain House. If you can get your hands on a copy of this, you should. It's fantastic. I think there's one more on eBay right now. I think it was running for like 30 bucks. But if you can beat down that seller to sell it for you cheaper, that's pretty cool. I also have a Kmart sticker on the back of the book. I used to love Kmart when I was a kid, and it's gone. It's dead. So I have that. That's kind of nice. It's a little bit of a thing. I actually looked through this. There's no writing on the inside, which is very nice as well. So I have a little secondary copy of that. Again, I'm not somebody who just piles up 4 and 5 copies. I've seen people on Facebook groups for Goosebumps that have seen, they've shown their collections, for example, and they have like 5 or 6 copies of the same book that are extremely rare, like Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns TV book. A lot of us wonder why we can't find these things on the internet very often. That's why, a lot of the time. And not that I'm shaming those people. I'm a capitalist. If you want to buy it, you have money, go for it. I don't care. But my whole thing is kind of like an immoralistic issue, that people buy these things, they pile up 5 and 6 copies, you know they're not going to use them. And again, I know I said I'm not going to use the one copy that I have because I don't want to ruin it, but still, have some restraint, people. That's what I think is the best thing, to have restraint, because the Goosebumps is so hard to find. But again, if you're trying to save these things up and sell them at one point, you're probably going to make a fortune off of them, frankly. You probably will, because Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, Calling All Creeps TV book, Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes TV book, those things are expensive, man. They're really hard to get your hands on now, especially Jack-o'-lanterns. So it is what it is, but for now, that's pretty much the only haul that I have for you guys. I'm trying to get the Mummy review out in the next couple of days. I can't promise anything. I'm super tired here lately. I don't know what my problem is. Just constantly exhausted from just work, you know. So hopefully having the Friday off this week, that's just a random thing to try to cope with our lack of business. Hopefully that will help a lot with my panicky nature over all this stuff, because I feel like I'm going stir crazy. But still, what are your thoughts on these 5 or so things I showed you here? Put your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that. Again, if you happen to be a new subscriber or viewer, if you haven't subscribed yet, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for commenting if you comment. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. So anyway, thank you for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.